And I loved that. He didn't say, I'm going to do 15 or 25. He just said 2. And then because he did just 2, he generally would end up doing more. And then after that, he would do this big fist bump and go, yes, because it wasn't enough just to go, okay, cool, I did that. Your body needs that kind of like, when you watch a football game and you're really passionate about the team and you stand up and cheer because you're like so happy. So his said, he did, countless studies on this. He said people need to be successful and on just the littlest thing, and that will lead to the other things. So in the terms of rituals, if we said, okay, I really want to just at least get, let's just say 10 minutes of movement in the morning. We're going to start small here. So you lay out your clothes. Well, in a ritual setting, you wouldn't just lay out clothes. You'd lay out your favorite soft, those cashmere feeling type socks, or your favorite hoodie that like you think is cute and makes you look, younger or whatever. And so that's more ritualistic. So it's not just laying out the clothes, it's laying out the cute clothes that make you feel your best. Yeah. And same way with food. Like if I want to make, okay, I'm going to have that oatmeal. Maybe I'm sick of oatmeal, but okay, I'm going to add a whole bunch of stuff to it. Well, then I'm going to get out the really great, that fun bowl that fits in the palm of my hand. And it's just cozy and comfortable. I really like that. That's more ritual than just, a routine. So I think those things are great. And it's a food for thought for people. Like, okay, think of the action you want to do, even if it's something silly as flossing your teeth or flossing your front teeth, because obviously, the back don't bother. You could say, all right, I'm going to go and get like Glide instead of the kind that I have to fight with or whatever. Yeah. It's just it's the smallest little things. But if someone was thinking of their own body, like, do I want to practice the piano more? Okay, well then I would say then don't put stuff on top of the bench. Make sure your favorite music is already out. Make it easy for yourself to be successful and actually enjoy it. Because if you don't, you're not going to stick with it.
Have you ever wondered, is rinsing my produce with the water that comes out of the sink that I don't even drink enough to really clean it? Well, then you're one of the smartest people I know, because you're absolutely right. It's not enough. That's why we created the only all-natural and patented line of food wash and wipes, and it's called Eat Cleaner. It's tasteless, odorless, and lab tested, and it removes up to 99.9% of the residue that water can't, including pesticides, wax, soil, and junk that can carry bacteria that can really make you sick. Plus, we formulated it to help extend the shelf life of your fresh produce too, and that'll save you money. When your berries are lasting up to 10-12 days, that's a good thing. It helps your produce last up to 5 times longer using a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. So there's no chemicals. It's just clean eating fun. And this can help save your family an average of over $500 per year. Make it easy on yourself, reduce waste, and get that fruit and veggies into your body, where it's going to do you a lot of good and not in the trash. Check us out, eatcleaner.com, or head to our Amazon store at amazon.com/eatcleaner. I'm such a believer in this because for me, like, especially when it comes to the morning, because the morning is my time. I'm the first person to wake up in my household. And so having that time with my notebook, my journal, my coffee with the collagen in it, like I have everything set up to where I can, a little coffee bar where I add all the stuff. It really does set me up for the day. And then I close the day. I'm a person that likes to exercise in the afternoon. I close the day either going for a hike or a walk or doing a HIIT workout, or I have a punching bag in my garage, but like making sure I have the stuff, timing it to where like I've already eaten, I've given myself, you have to structure your day to be able to do those things. And then I don't miss it, then I'm not like, I'm too tired now, or I ate and my stomach hurts. I can't work out now because I've eaten too much. Like you kind of have to just like really look at your whole day that way.
I agree. And what you brought up is so monumentally important to bring up, because when we say to ourselves, I know that I should exercise, but I have all these things that I need to accomplish. And so knowing you and how you live, like as you said, you're an early riser. Some people go, no, not getting up before 8, going to bed at 11. That's their deal. That's fine. It really is fine. That means knowing who you are and knowing how you can get after it so that you don't feel ashamed if you didn't achieve it. So the fact that you already know that you can make it happen in the afternoon is awesome. I mean, I might be one of those people to say, yeah, it's 3 or 4. I'm not doing it. I'm one of those that I don't do it at the crack, unless I have to digress here. I do have a Doberman, and there is a forceful exercise movement at 6 a.m. because of said dog. So I do get out, in nature, which is really important. But for my structured exercise, I'm more like you. I have to have my really good tea. I have to have my toast. I have to feel really good. And then I go down and I devote that hour to myself. And it's like, to me, it's like cake. I mean, I know there are people that don't like to move, but I love, much like yourself, either nature hike or a high intensity interval training, which is a blast, which is so fun. But knowing yourself and knowing that your cycles, were just not all the same. And even though they do ample studies on when it's best to get after it, it really is best to get after it when you can. And I'll further that by saying most of these people that I have spoken with that are movement specialists say we have to think about things now in terms of just movement instead of exercise, especially under COVID. So like if somebody actually wore their Fitbit and cleaned their house, I would guarantee you they probably do more energetically on that day than the day they went to the gym to lift weights. But just thinking about movement, like, did I just move? Because as a nation, we're having a tragic time with this. People that like to exercise, it's like a no-brainer for them. But the people that are going, I just don't want to, I don't like it, it's cold or it's too hot or it's raining, whatever. I've got too many kids around me. And there's just ample excuses not to just say, I'm going to move. So, I mean, something as simple as, and I know this sounds hilarious, make work for yourself. So in other words, there will be days where I haven't gotten to my exercise yet, where I'll unload the dishwasher and I could go down and scoop up probably 4 or 5 plates in one heave. But no, I plie squat every time I reach for a plate, a cup, a bowl. And so by the time I've emptied the dishwasher, I might have done, 30, 40 squats, which sounds.
Please capture this on video. That is that is so brilliant. I love that. And I can totally see it.
Yeah. Or, like when you fold your laundry, maybe you run just like, hey, I'm going upstairs to do my husband's socks. I come back down. I'm going over to my son's room to put away the t-shirts, make yourself, of course that's stupid because we're real practical. We would normally just like get the whole thing together and do it all at once. And it would be really easy. But as far as movement goes, you go, wow, that was a lot. So making a little work for yourself is not a bad idea. And I did mention the outdoor thing. I think there's been so many studies under COVID, especially if you live around trees, and eucalyptus trees, ironically, they've done some Japanese studies where they're finding that human beings being in nature, especially around trees, there's this sort of forest effect. And, the tree does give off not only aromatherapy, but also even different vibrations, which I know is a whole different concept, but it's very good for our immune system to be out in nature and among things like trees. So that's kind of a neat thing. So if nothing else, just to get out and appreciate what's outside.
I feel this so profoundly. Like I went for a hike the other day with my dog. He loves it so much that it's really fun. We have a rescue that we got back in September of last year. And he loves it so much and has so much fun frolicking, And I've always been a hiker. I have a hiking group that I used to hike with ritually every single weekend. We get up at 6 a.m. and go hiking. And I just had this moment where I stopped and we got to the top and I looked out and I was like, this message came to me. And I know I'm digressing a little bit, but follow my thoughts for a second. This message kind of came to me that was, you've been looking down so much, watching your footing and making sure that you don't trip. Now's the time to just look out and see the view and take it in. And I think there is something about exercise that just reaches so much further than just simply like, okay, we got to burn. We burn this many calories if we allow it to.
Yes. Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And yes, if I'm in a gym, I mean, I was one of those people that when I say raised in a gym, I mean, I created a gym when I was younger, like my exercise studio. So that was a comfortable place for me. But when you're out doing something that makes you fit and you've got that, first of all, your sun, if you're in the sun, there's a certain amount of melatonin release because you're getting a certain amount of sunlight in your eyes, which is advantageous, like going with the cycle of your day, which is beautiful and good for your body. Obviously, the vitamin D factor, which we all know, not that this is always about COVID, but the people that are doing the best with COVID, whether they got it or they're preventing it, is with a better vitamin D level. And sunshine is that vitamin. It really is, even though, of course, we're supplementing with it, but we really need that. And also just the appreciation of Earth. I mean, the gratitude space, people see it in almost every magazine. If you're grateful for what you're looking at, and hopefully people that are listening to this have a place, even if it's just a neighborhood park or whatever. If you live in Southern California, we are blessed with not only ocean, but miles and miles of trails. There should be ways for people to get to some of these places and get a little nature, because I think it's a super win if you can get out there and enjoy that, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I know you have a lot of choices out there of what to listen to, what to watch, so it means a lot to me that you're here with me. And hey, if you love this content, would you hit the subscribe button? I want you around. I don't want you to just show up for one episode and leave. I want you here, part of the conversation, a seat at this table. And while you're at it, would you share this with your friends and family? And if you take a screenshot and share it on your social media with a hashtag RFYBL for Recipes for Your Best Life, I'll make sure to personally give you a shout out, and you may just be featured right here on the show. So until next time, here's to living deliciously and being the chef of your best life.